person is subject to the rule of law. And that's why you should pay attention. Because when legal heavyweights talk, they talk to Law Weekly. Join Shola Shuele on Channels Television every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. for the big discussions on justice, the law, trending legal issues, and how it affects you. Catch up on YouTube and give your feedback. Remember, it's about the rule of law.
The government reportedly releases a list of terror financiers as service chiefs have met behind closed doors with federal lawmakers. Of course, the Nigerian Labour Congress has picketed the Labour Party headquarters over a planned national convention and the running of the party. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Shoakim Ale here in Abuja. Some big news coming through tonight, which we will be focusing on. And first and foremost, we'll let you know some of the stories relating to the list that we have heard so many times over and over that the federal government promised to release from the very first term of President Buhari. And now some of the names are coming to light in what is being a document released to the Punch newspaper about some terror financiers, about 15 of them that have been released today. We'll be giving you insight on what this means and taking you right into the politics of Labour Party, where the Nigerian Labour Congress, which is an affiliate organization, the setting up of the party, had picketed the headquarters of the Labour Party over the planned national convention and the running of the party. We'll be giving you all of what you need to know as far as that story is concerned. But first and foremost, everyone, stand by for your political roundup stories.
The Senate has passed the Student Loans Access to Higher Education Act, a repeal and reenactment bill of 2024. The passage followed the consideration of a report of the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, presented by the chairman of the committee representing Katsina South, Senator Mohammed Mutari. President Bola Tinubu had last week written to the Senate and the House of Representatives seeking the repeal of the Student Loan Access to Higher Education Bill, asking that they enact a new one. Justice James Omotosho of Federal High Court in Abuja has refused to stop the alleged impeachment move against the Edo State Deputy Governor, Mr. Philip Shuaibu, by the State House of Assembly. At Wednesday's proceedings, Mr. Shuaibu's request for an order of status quo to be maintained by the House of Assembly and others involved in the impeachment saga was turned down by the judge. The Deputy Governor, Philip Shuaibu, who was in the room throughout the proceedings, declined to speak with newsmen. The First Lady of Nigeria, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, has reiterated the call to Nigerians to get more involved in agricultural production. The First Lady said this when she received the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, in her office at the State House in Abuja. The First Lady noted that the various interventions of the Renewed Hope Initiative, especially in the areas of agriculture, empowerment, education, health and social welfare are to complement the efforts of President Bola Tinubu's administration. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, is urging civil society organizations to file their observation reports for the last off-cycle elections. Professor Yakubu stated this at the quarterly consultative meeting with accredited civil society organizations in Abuja. The chairman notes that the commission will no longer accredit CSOs that did not file in election observations. The All Progressives Congress local government and ward structure from Ogbadibo local government area of Benue State is pledging to work with Governor Hyacinth Alia and the state chairman of the party, Mr. Benjamin Omakolo. Mr. Omakolo is the welfare secretary of the party in the state and was made acting chairman following the suspension of Mr. Austin Agada by his home ward, Ehajia ward in Ogbadibo local government area of the state.
So much, everyone. The nation is still in search for the killers of the soldiers and the military officers who were killed over the weekend in Okwama community area of Delta State. And today, the service chiefs appeared before the Senate Joint Committee comprising of the Army, Navy, Defense, and Air Force committees to begin an investigative hearing on the gruesome killing of military personnel in Okwama community in the Hueli South local government area of Delta State last Thursday. The federal government has reportedly listed, giving an order that those who are behind the killings must be identified and brought to justice. However, there was a minute's silence observed in honor of the fallen soldiers. There's some news coming through. The Punch newspaper reported that the federal government has released a list of some terror financiers, which include a Kaduna-based publisher, Tukomamu, and 14 others who were said to be funding terror in Nigeria. The Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit reportedly listed the identity of the 15 entities, including 9 individuals and 6 bureau de change operators and firms, according to the newspaper. It said that the NFIU documents show that the Nigeria Sanctions Committee met on the 18th of March 2024, and specific individuals and entities were recommended for sanction following their involvement in terrorism financing. The Attorney General of the Federation, with the approval of the President, has thereupon designated the following individuals and entities to be listed on the Nigerian sanctions list. The document read in part, among the individuals named in the document was the Tuko, who is currently being tried by the federal government for allegedly aiding the terrorists who attacked the Abuja-Kaduna train in March of 2022. Let's get some sense in all of these. I have joining me tonight a former commander of Operation Safe Haven, a retired Major General. Have joining us Major General Henry Ayola, who joins us virtually. Thank you so much, General, for joining us tonight on the program.
Thank you, Sean, for having me.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, viewers.
Yeah. Let's get a sense, first and foremost, before we get, because our major focus will be on the terror financing list that we're understanding that it emerged from some documents that are being processed by the NFIU for sanction under the sanction committee. Now, give us a sense of what happened in Okwama community and within the security sector. There are a lot of talk about the implication, what could have led, and the dynamics of this. For someone like you who have led troops in similar terrain, what came to your mind when you heard the story?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I better start by commiserating with the families of these gallant officers and soldiers who were gruesomely murdered in a very unusual way. It's a tragedy, it's anathema, it's a grave thing that shouldn't have happened at all. I just join my heart with all of the members of the armed forces of Nigeria and including those of us that are outside the service already. And we pray and trust that God will comfort the bereaved ones, and this kind of thing should become something to be put behind us. That should never again happen to us as a nation. So having said that, I also like to correct the numbers that are being bandied around. The actual number is 17 total. The commanding officer, who was a lieutenant colonel, 2 majors, 1 captain, and 13 soldiers, making 17. I mean, the issue of human lives cannot be something we be approximating. Then we need to be correct about it. It's 17 lives, precious lives. Okay, having said that also, is what comes readily to my mind is it's a sad note for me, for us, for our country to be in this state. I mean, as somebody who has seen the nation and been around the military sector for over 50 years, I ask myself, how did we get here? You know, how did we get here as a nation? I've been, when I was commanding Operation Safe Haven, we have had near such disaster before. Because what has happened over time is that our nation has lost touch with values, with ethics, with character. You know, what we are seeing is a harvest of long-time failure of parental responsibility, societal responsibility of nurturing and bringing up, you know, children that, you know, we imbibe the same ethics and culture that we grew up with. And it's a case of having gone full cycle where you had parents who perhaps were not properly brought up and now become, or as children, of course, and now become parents themselves. And it's sure to happen that way because the law of sowing and reaping applies in all situations. Nobody beats it. What is done moderately in one generation will be done in excess in the next. That's how it works, and that's what we're seeing. And it's a sorry state for us to be, but I think it's a clarion call for all of us to wake up and begin to address the real issues. We've done a lot of palliatives and dodging the issues and explaining them away and tolerating things that should be decisively dealt with over the years. It's not just something that is happening now. What we're seeing is a harvest of several years of negligence, several years of padding things that should have been, you know, frontally dealt with. And that's what we're seeing now, where you have a situation where the level of civil disobedience has escalated to use not even being deterred by the fact that these are men in uniform and should be respected. It's an assault on the state. It's an assault on our collective psyche. It's something that should outrage every one of us. And nobody should make any attempt to play down on it at all. I think it's a wake-up call. We should all wake up and smell the coffee and say, look, with this cycle should end here. This cycle of bloodletting, this vicious cycle of just lawlessness at its peak should come to an end here. And everybody should come into this fight against lawlessness and wickedness in the nation.
It's so sad, and the brazen attack and the killing of men in uniform. But there are scenarios that, as an expert, I'd like you to just give us insight on. This was in the night, we understand. The situation was, according to those who understand, who know, say, it's a matter of a land dispute. And you wonder the role of the military in this kind of situation. Has it been the procedure for military to be called into this kind of civil engagement? Or what do you think could have been? Is it a normal procedure for the officers to be involved in this kind of situation at night? What could have gone wrong?
At this, people, giving some fancy comments. Well, let's look at it realistically. The truth of it is that our nation is not in a normal state. I mean, the fact that virtually every state in the country today has one military operation or the other tells you that we are not in a normal state. So when people begin to say, oh, maybe it's long before now. If not, then what do we have all the operation, this operation, that in all the states? It means we have crossed that threshold of what the normal civil enforcement agencies can handle. That's what it means. And if we have done that, of course, I also hear, I mean, we have been the same people putting so much pressure on the armed forces. So, look for non-kinetic measures, soft power options and all of that. Of course, it must be in that kind of frail that the commanding officer will have found it, a way of nipping an obvious boiling issue or an issue that we eventually escalate worse later, as to preemptively go, to try to tackle it that way. Of course, there can be 1,001 arguments as to either there was a tactical error or that or not. But those are not the issue right now. It doesn't even matter if a mistake was made. That's a set of youth somewhere, anywhere, will have the audacity and the recklessness not to even spear people in uniform who have laid down their lives for the benefit of the rest of us. That level of temerity should not be tolerated and should not be explained away by either it should have been military job or anything. No, they are two separate things entirely. That's my take on it.
I mean, one can only imagine, if this is not properly managed, the kind of aggression and the kind of reaction that could have come naturally if it's not well managed from the military. Yeah. We've seen that happen sometimes over when the military on their own will take action to correct or to react to any kind of harm or any kind of aggression against the military, isn't it?
Yes. In fact, let me add to that. You see, when I was on Operation Safe Haven, we held peace rallies almost every week, because it was clear that this was not just purely a security challenge. And so there was a need to engage different groups of, the people, different faces, different groups, different even age groups, different ethnic groups, different religious groups, all in an attempt to find solution. I mean, in Yoruba, there is a proverb that when something is lost, you search for it anyhow. When you are trying to find solution to very abnormal situations, you cross several lines. You bend backward. You lower yourself to even, more or less becoming a preacher, even though you are in uniform. You do everything because you want solution. You want solution. And if the solution is going to come by the soft power method, by the peace approach, why not? We have been too long in this state as a nation. If you imagine the amount of money that have been spent for the various operations that have been on in the country for over 20 years, those kind of money would have been used to develop our infrastructure. So the military officers are aware of these things. They are not happy being out there doing what ordinarily should have been the police work. Nobody is happy with that. But that's the reality on the ground.
Let me take you. Let me take you to the issue of the terror list, that the financial list that came out from the reporting of the Punch newspapers, which reported about 15 persons and firms, that organizations, including Bureau de Change, that are involved in terror financing, and they have been listed for sanctions. What do you make of this? This is something Nigeria has been battling to kill terror or terrorism on Nigerian soil for over 20 years now, from the Northeast region. And now we're seeing some active roles of these terror gangs within the Northwest region of the country in the name of banditry. And now one of the persons who is facing a trial over in the linkage to the attack on the train in Kaduna is also named Mamu in this particular situation. What comes to mind when you heard that the federal government, the Buhari government has said it, that they know those who are funding terror, they will release their names, but for 8 years, that never happened.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this is one place that we should give a pat at the back to the current government. I mean, I was on the air severally during the last regime for the 8 years. And I remember one of the points we drove home very strongly was the fact that there was a lack of national will to deal with this situation, and that the will was not strong enough by the government at the time. And so it is good to see a government that is showing a stronger will to deal with these situations. Because I've said it again and again, that what we have is a political strategic problem masquerading as security challenges. I've said that 1,001 times. You will agree with me as this thing begins to unfold, that now we are seeing, in fact, what I would call a simple step that is really a giant stride, right? Taking this step to bring out and call out these names and take this next step. In my analysis of insurgency and terrorism, I've talked about 8 S's. And indeed, one of the S's is what is coming out now. Sponsors. Because out of the 8 S's, all the approaches we have applied in trying to solve insurgency and terrorism in the country are just about 2 components of those 8. So adding this third one to it, we go a long way. Because it's like we've been dodging the issue. It's like we've been dodging naming the enemy, naming the adversaries behind this problem. I mean, we even agree to the fact that, are we saying that the gates of hell were opened suddenly and Nigeria just having this all-round challenges, security challenges coming? Is it that aliens were sent from some abyss to come and attack Nigeria all at the same time? No, the indices and the indicators certainly speak differently. It's obvious that there's some central control and command and control of those who are doing these things. Because for them to be happening concurrently all over the nation, you know that there is something that is not by the individual actors. Okay? These are clear indices that anybody in the intelligence circle or in the security circle can pick them readily. Okay, so for me, this is a major step forward, and I think we should follow it up with subsequent steps that will create enough deterrence. Because it's like some people have gotten away with, blue murder all of this while, and thought that nothing, they can go scot-free and nothing will happen. And if they begin to get the new message that, look, you are not going to get away with blue murder anymore. There's a new sheriff in town, and this is not going to be tolerated any longer. Because it's also clear that what you tolerate, you cannot change. So the first step to changing a situation or dealing with a dastardly situation like ours is to stop tolerating things that should have been utterly frowned at. So good step. That's what I would say. And of course, I expect that this will be followed up by the security sector, all the forces, services, agencies, with the freedom now to deal with these issues and all the other dimensions to be brought on board so that we can have, a holistic, concurrent actions dealing with these 6 different components and sectors of insurgency and terrorism. And that will give us the solution we've been looking for. Yeah.
Now that we have these names, what do we do with them as a nation? Technically, what happens afterwards?
Yeah, well, that's a very security-related question, which I won't be able to elucidate so much. But I can tell you that the services and agencies involved know what to do. They know what to do following this. And you see, all along it has been these services and agencies looking up to the body language of this at the grand strategic level, and hence, as it were, their hands were tied. So once the grand strategic level makes it clear that no ox is God, nobody cares about whose ox is God, and no sacred cow, they will be free. They will be free, and they must be encouraged to exercise that freedom of action to take the next necessary steps. Yes.
So if you look at the names, I don't know if you have seen them, if we can go through these names, and perhaps with your technical mind and professional mind, maybe you can make sense of it for us. We have Tuko Mamu, Yusuf Ghazali, Mohammed Sani, Abubakar Muhammad, Salamuddin Hassan, Adamu Ishaq, Hassana Oyiza Isa, Abdulkarim Musa, Umaru Abdullahi, and 6 BDCs and firms include West and East Africa General Trading Company Limited, Satins Bureau de Change Limited, GSI General Enterprises, Desert Exchange Ventures Limited, Eagle Square General Trading Company Limited, Alpha Exchange BDCs. I was trying to do some investigation to find out the real persons and find out the linkages, the identity of this person. We're trying to, but it looks like some of these names carry multiple identities because maybe some of them have some kind of a generalized names. But let me allow you to, because we try to check who they are, we try to identify, put faces to these persons, and maybe now that the names are public, maybe people can know who these persons are. But from your mind, General, if you have this list in your hands, what comes to mind if you look at the names, trying to analyze the names?
Yeah, thank you so very much. Well, we are getting to brass tacks now. That's what it means. I think we are unveiling the thing that hitherto have been covered. The first thing to know, and I've said this again and again, that the real crux of what Nigeria is going through is a clash of civilizations. And let me expatiate on that. There are 2 major civilizations that you can identify in Nigeria. Now, this is a concept that has been enunciated by Samuel Huntington in his book, The Clash of Civilizations and the Remaking of World Order. And it defines civilization as the highest level of categorization of humanity. I mean, from after you say the human or humanity as one single entity, the next categorization really would be civilizations, because it cuts across religions, ethnicity, nations, kingdoms, principalities, city-states. They are soft factors that define the 2 sides, like I said, the 2 major. He actually identified 8 civilizations that are subsisting in the world. And that was about mid-90s. But later in his next edition, he actually dropped Zoroastrianism, which, of course, we know anyway, was a civilization that was in the then Persian kingdom. And, of course, it's virtually extinct. And then he also asked, some aspersion on whether there is still something that can be constantly said to be African civilization, because our civilization has been more or less modulated and demodulated by other civilizations. And but having said that, the 2 main civilizations that we see in the international arena is the Western civilization and the Islamic civilization, or the Arabic civilization, if you like. And the clash between those civilizations are obvious. They are there. And so, more categorically speaking, the 2 civilizations that we see clashing in Nigeria is simply a replica of that global trend. Okay, it's a local replica of a global trend. And let me put it very clearly, because I know I will attract some flags on this. Now, in Nigeria setting particularly, this civilization cut across, like I said, ethnicity, religion, tribe, and all of that is simply two convenient platforms by which mainly the elite class have got, to survive. Let me put it that way. So you find people in these 2 different civilizations, but there are different indicators or different premises that are working in each of those civilizations. And one of it is that what the difference majorly is that what is an accessory in one is an excess in another, or what is tolerated in one is frowned at in another. But the uncanny thing about the whole thing is that the one side of this civilization that is more of akin of Western civilization is not very much aware of the other side. Okay? And there's a whole lot of ignorance, even among the elites in that civilization, as to what are the values and the ideologies of the other civilization. And that's where our major clash is coming from. And that's why you will find why some of these things have been tolerated by those who have acted on them all of the while.
So, General,
that's what I can say about it. They are very sensitive area, but until the day we address this aspect of the nation, everything we are doing, we just be one step forward, two steps backwards each time we change.
All right. So I need to go on a break now, but just in about 30 seconds, if you may. Is it possible that we can take air out of terrorism with this name that we know? Can that help us in any way?
Yeah, it will go a long way to finding the solution, no doubt. It's not totally the only factor. There are other factors. You know, if I pick out one of my essays, there are also foot soldiers who may not even be connected directly, who don't even understand the ideology behind what they are doing, and they are just like robots programmed to do one thing and can't do anything else outside that program. You know, that's like, so that had to be dealt with, you know, as a parallel line of action, you know.
All right. Major General Henry Ayola is a former commander of Operation Safe Haven, a retired Nigerian military officer. Thank you so much indeed for the insight you've given tonight on these issues.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. We're going to break, and when we return, our attention will be on the politics of the Labour Party. The NLC went there, picketed the headquarters of the Labour Party. We'll be getting insight on what this means, what is going on within the Labour Party. Is the party falling apart? We'll find out after now. Join us again.
Before entering to the university, ask myself one question. What does education mean to me?
Education is a tool to shape my future, fostering critical thinking and problem-solving skills.
University City Campus, Maitama Abuja, is now open. Visit www.philomax.edu.ng to get started.
Do you know that you can now print all your essential items for events without even having to leave your home? It's the Cash Print's combo deal for all events.
Yes!
Weddings, conferences, birthdays, burials, etc. Starting from 495,000 Naira only. You get 50 invites, 50 A2 size posters, 50 16-page brochures, 1 large backdrop banner, 1 roll-up banner, 50 jotters with pens, and 50 souvenir carrier bags. Whatever event you're planning, we can adjust to your budget and quantities. Just send your pictures and other information through WhatsApp, and we shall send a design for your approval. Approve your design, and we will produce with super high-quality digital print technology. We can even arrange delivery to your location. Call us now on 0913-156-5016 or 0812-794-9323, or visit our social media pages. Cash Prints, digital printing at super speed.
The Duchess International Hospital opened its doors in October 2021. The mission of the hospital is to reverse medical tourism by delivering the highest standards of care, using the most advanced technology and treatments to give our customers the fastest, most convenient access to the best medical expertise available anywhere in the world. Our objective is to provide precisely that level of service that will encourage individuals to remain in this country and receive the level of healthcare that they require, and to provide that access, of course, at a reasonable and affordable rate. We take particular care here at the Duchess to bring together a combination of the brightest and the best locally, as well as Nigerians in the diaspora who are interested in returning either physically or virtually to do very good work at a very high standard for the benefit of our patients here in this country.
The good thing is that we have all international expertise here, all international facilities here, international people working here. Diaspora of Nigeria, which had gone abroad, those people are coming back in with all the knowledge that we've exchanged all across the world, the best practices, the governance mechanism, the clinical governance piece. Everything is coming together in a space which was considered not great in terms of the availability of healthcare.
Access Bank, of course, has been able to provide us with a robust range of products and services that has enabled us to deliver that standard and quality of healthcare that is integral to our mission as an organization. The sheer range of expertise and financial resources they bring to the table as one of the leading banks in Africa has been incredibly significant in supporting us right from inception, and we look forward to sustaining our relationship with them for many more years to come.
The Board of Trustees and Management Staff of Haski Satomari Foundation, founded by Honorable Kudla M. Satomari, popularly known as Haski, cordially invite the general public to its annual colloquium. Theme: Judicial and Electoral Reforms, the Imperatives on Nigerian Democracy, Governance, Leadership and its Selection Processes, under the distinguished chairmanship of His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, former President of Nigeria. Special guest of honor, Honorable Fabrice Rulinda, the Lord Mayor of Entebbe, the Republic of Uganda. Keynote speakers, His Excellency Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfang, Executive Governor of Plateau State, and Chief Femi Falana San, Nigerian lawyer and human rights activist. The event is scheduled as follows. Date 21st March 2024. Venue Shehu Musa Yaradua Center, Central Business District, CBD, Abuja. Time 10 a.m. prompt. This will follow by a thank you dinner the next day, Friday 22nd of March 2024. Time 6 p.m. prompt. Announcer Honorable Kudla M. Satomari, Haski, founder, Haski Satomari Foundation.
Now, all of us like to chop better food. Food where they make body tranga and vegetables wey fresh like see tomorrow not day. We want make the chocolate sweet the way we go like them. No cubes. Now be the secret. Then make them with correct ingredients like chicken, parsley, garlic, plenty iron corn full and palm to make your chocolate palm bra for you. Come the sweet well. Now be the cocoa. Make we carry salute, throw away give no. Change your world by changing waiting to your plate.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Calabar, Professor Florence Banku Obi, on behalf of Senate, staff and students of the university, welcomes His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, Governor of Cross River State, Senator Basi Edet Otu, the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, the Chancellor and Emir of Kano, His Highness Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, Executive Secretary of NUC, Ambassador Chris Meyaki, Convocation Lecturer, His Lordship, Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka. Dates of event: Thursday, March 21, 2024. Convocation lecture, Friday, March 22, 2024. Award of diplomas, first degrees, PhDs and masters. Saturday, March 23, 2024. Award of PhDs and honorary doctorate degrees. Host, Professor Florence Banku Obi, Vice Chancellor, University of Calabar.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take you straight and show you some pictures of what happened today at the headquarters of the Labour Party, where protesting members of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, barricaded the main entrance into the national headquarters of the Labour Party. They were demanding the immediate sack of the national chairman, Comrade Julius Abure. The protesters were refused entry into the building by armed regular policemen on duty. But the largely peaceful protesters were heard singing solidarity songs while calling for an end to, quote, Abure's reign of corruption and tyranny. The NSA leadership had accused Abure of planning to hold what they call an illegal convention. This, they say, was to perpetrate his rule or, in the alternative, appoint cronies to act on his behalf.
he was in the NLC office to meet with the president of NLC. And I was present. And we discussed. I told him, look, everything has gone wrong. There are so many accusations, so many, cases in courts. And you have been accused of even the Peter Obi, the presidential candidate, has said, look, let us have a situation where there's a forensic audit. The treasurer of the party has come out to say publicly, and is even in court, to say that you, Abure, you stole money, you, Abure, you forged certificate of the late chairman. There's information, and police has investigated that you, Abure, did all sorts of things, that you forged court documents. And then NLC invited you. You refused to come.
All right, those are very strong allegations. Mr. Akeredolu Edun is the National Legal Advisor of the Labour Party. He joins me from Asaba virtually. Thank you so much, Mr. Edun, for joining us tonight. These are strong allegations. I understand that some of the leadership of the party are in Asaba. To what end? They are saying, some members and leaders of the Labour Party are saying, do not go ahead with a national convention. What is going on with your party? It looks things have really fallen apart fast.
Thank you very much. The Labour Party is strong. The Labour Party is together. The Labour Party is focused. And the Labour Party is serious about delivering good governance to Nigerians. These individuals who are calling themselves NLC Political Commission, they are going beyond their mandate. And it is unfortunate that they have allowed greed and inordinate ambition to becloud them as to forget the mandate of the NLC. Ajero's NLC is actually degrading and actually putting in opprobrium the name of the NLC. Is it the NLC of Pa Michael Imodu? Is this the NLC of Hassan Sumanu? Is it the NLC of even Adam Oshomole and the NLC of Ayuba Waba? These are individuals who believe in workers' welfare and who believe in good governance to deliver it. Joe Ajero is misled by inordinate ambition, and he's wrong.
When you say inordinate ambition, what do you mean? What do you mean by the inordinate ambition? What specifically are you talking about? Reference?
Joe Ajero misfired by trying to overtake and impose himself on the Labour Party. Labour Party, as like any other political party, is desirous of divine good governance, and membership of the party is on individual basis. Only individuals can be members of political party. NLC cannot be a member. Only individuals. And let me tell you, Ajero is not even a member. The state chairman, Labour Party Imo State, addressed the press today that Ajero is not even a member of Labour Party. How can Ajero come up with this kind of shenanigans? How can he come up with this kind of attitude?
But Mr. Edun, Mr. Ajero was not at your party headquarters today. But it looks like you're evading what the issues really are. Just a moment, Mr. Edun. Just a moment. The allegations are about financial impropriety. The allegations are related to mismanagement of funds leveled against the leadership of the party led by Julius Abure, which you are a national legal advisor of. You are not answering to those allegations, but you're picking on Julius Abure right now.
Please, anybody can say anything. Allegations are empty. Has anybody found Abure guilty of financial mismanagement? Any talk is cheap. Anybody can say anything.
But the financial secretary of your party, the lady has come to town to say, these are the documents, these are the figures, these are the facts against Julius Abure. Has Julius Abure, just for a moment, been able to come to the public to give account of those allegations and those monies which they say are missing and have been found against him that he has misappropriated this fund. Has he been able to explain all that?
Monies, the 3.5 billion did not come to Labour Party. Only 1-point-something million came to Labour Party. And we have an audited account that has been submitted to INEC, which is the regulatory authority. And we have a clean bill of health that this money came in and was expended judiciously.
Who gave you the clean bill of health, Ms. Aidun? Who gave you the clean bill of health? And what do you have a document to support that clean bill of health?
Has given the National Chairman clean bill of health. We have submitted to INEC, which is the regulatory authority, about how funds came in. That is mandatory. It is incumbent on us to give our account every year to submit to INEC. We have done that. We are not accountable to NSC. NSC, there is a difference between NSC and Labour Party. We are not accountable to them. We are only accountable to the regulatory authority. And we have submitted the audited report of the funds that came in and how they were expended. Joe Ajero's NSC is a disservice to the NSC. Joe Ajero's NSC has actually derogated and actually rubbished the gains that the NSC made during Asansu Manu, Pamake Bimodu, even during Adasho Mosomole, and even during Ayuba Waba. What is the business? So the picketing they said they were doing.
Yeah, speak to the National Convention. Speak to the National Convention. They say you're not putting transparency into the process. Why must you go ahead when the people are raising question marks on the organization and the procedure? Because usually it's supposed to be from... Just a moment, let me ask a question. Just a moment, Mr. Edun. Just a moment. The procedure and the tradition is that you take the process and the election of the party from bottom to up. From ward to the local government and state, then you go to National Convention. Why are you going from National Convention downwards?
There is nothing in the Constitution of Labour Party that says that the state congress must come before the National Convention. States and local governments, their tenure is only for 3 years, while the tenure of the national officers are for 4 years. There are many states now whose Congress held about 1 or 2 years ago who are still in office. You cannot hold another Congress when their tenure is still on. So what we are saying is that the tenure of many of our states and local government executives are still running. How can you now say you want to hold another election there? So if you look at the constitution of our party, it does not say that.
Mr. Edun, just give me a moment. Give me a moment. Because it is not only those of the NLC that are worried. There are those on the other side in your party that are worried. The Lamidi Apapa, Abayomi Arabambi and the rest are also worried. Just a moment. Abayomi Arabambi is in our Lagos studio. Just a moment. Mr. Abayomi Arabambi, thank you so much for joining us. You have a grasp about what is going on. What is your side of the divide issue about the convention and what is going on in your party? Mr. Arabambi.
It's not the... Hello? Hello?
I think, Mr. We're trying to reconnect, confirm the connection. Mr. Arabambi, I don't know if you can hear me now.
I'm not hearing.
Can you hear me now, Mr. Arabambi? Oh, there. So, Mr. Arabambi, I can see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So I'm saying what you have a grouse about. You heard what Mr. Edun is saying about the situation in the party. What's your position?
Well, thank you very much. We are also averse to the act of NFC today at the national headquarters of the party, because as far as we are concerned, the trade dispute in section 47(1) of the Trade Union Act says any dispute between employer and workers or between workers and workers which is connected with the employment or non-employment or the form of employment and physical condition of work of any person. And picketing. Most definitely, if you want to do picketing, it's going to be between workers and employer. That is defined in section 51, section 54.1, to mean worker means any employee, that is to say any member of the public service or the federation or a state or any individual other than a member of any of some public service who has entered into a work under a contract with an employer, whether the contract is in manual or conventional. Now, the law now says that the picketing of any place of work can go on, but must not involve any other breach of civil law, such as trespass or nuisance. This is the Trade Union Act, that I just read that now. And it is obvious today.
You're saying that you do not support you're saying that you do not support what the NSC did today by picketing the headquarters of the Labour Party.
We are not in support because it's about leadership.
Julius Abure leadership and the national convention that is being planned.
You said?
You are against the national convention as being planned by the Julius Abure leadership and what is going on with Julius Abure and the contention that you have from your own group.
Now, the point is this: I am not even interested in the convention. Our grounds is against the forceful takeover of our party, where the NLC intend to announce the following: as acting national chairman and national secretary, they intend to announce one Ladilia as acting national chairman and a lawyer and a Nollywood actor, Kenneth Okoko, as acting national secretary. And I also want to put it to Comrade Ajero that over 3 times now, he had discussed the issue of his presidential ambition come 2027. And he knew it is practically impossible because we presently have leadership issues, even in Labour Party, which is an internal affairs of the party. I do not expect them to now ambush, the rule of law, because April 17, Comrade Ajero invaded that secretariat and a passive vote of confidence on Comrade Julius Abure, despite FCTI called rescinding order. And Julius Abure, in line of exercise of duty, filed an appeal against that judgment. That judgment that recorded Papa, the Court of Appeal on March 6 set aside, the judgment of the FCTI court. Same day, Mr. Ajero came out to now pass vote of no confidence. It amounted to a man approbating and reprobating, at the same time. What exactly is the issue that we have with them? When we have internal issue, it is about the issue of Labour Party, it's about the issue of leadership, it's between Apapa and Abure. It is not the business of NLC because they are not financial member. So the convention they are talking about is not part of the trade dispute as stipulated in section 47.1 and 54.1 of the Trade Union Act. And they have already considered themselves as a political terrorist with the way they invaded, they even showed aside some policemen. The way they invaded that secretariat means that it is not only the economic terrorism we are talking about now. Joe Ajero is gradually, because of his presidential ambition, I repeat, his presidential ambition in 2027 is not trying to annex Labour Party to NLC because they only have 2 nominal members in our constitution. So I want Nigeria to know that the legislative question we are talking about does not extend to NLC. It is clearly an issue between us and Julius Abure, and we don't want their involvement.
Mr. Arabambi, the Labour Party and NLC, they've shown that there is a relationship. But just quickly in 20 seconds, what is the way out? Because your party is in a quagmire. In 20 seconds, the way out.
The party is not in a quagmire. We demand for the immediate arrest of Joe Ajero for his attempted, assassination of our democratically elected administration. Because those of us, in that party, even if we have squabbles, I insist it is beyond NLC. NLC should stay out. If you want to run for president, you shouldn't think by appointing his puppet, puppet there, he can have his way. It's a political issue, and we all want to write our name in gold that in our time we were able to resolve the issue. If we choose to resolve the issue with Abure today, it is not the business of NLC.
Yeah. We need to get Joe Ajero to react to all of this. Mr. Edun, let me give you 20 seconds to let me know what is the way out from your own point of view. Just a sentence.
Labour Party is intact and strong. NLC, they are just misbehaving. And Joe Ajaero is the cause of this misbehavior of the NLC. There can be no picketing when there is no lawful strike. There is no lawful strike.
Right.
Our employees are members of the NLC. The Labour Party is not the employer of these NLC people. Why would they talk about picketing? Joe Ajaero is pursuing a personal agenda. Right. Joe Ajaero has a political ambition. We should pursue it elsewhere. So we are saying that
we are the national legal advisor of the Labour Party, and Abayami Arabambi is the fractional national public secretary of the Labour Party. Thanks so much, gentlemen. We're hoping that to get Joe Ajaero to react to all of this, but that's how far we can go. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Okimale. God bless Nigeria.
It's time to get stepping, because if you upgrade your DSTV subscription now, we'll step you up to an even higher package.
Respect that.
Upgrade now and step up to even more action. Step up to more football. Step up to more local drama. Step up to more fun and get more than you pay for. Upgrade now and get boosted to the next package at no extra cost. Visit your multi-choice branch or agent and upgrade to step up and get boosted.